everyone, welcome to the Spark One YouTube channel. Today we have our speaker, Bryan Nelson. Hi, Bryan, how are you?
Hi, Hoy. It's good to talk to you again.
Yes, me too. So glad to see you again. We're the old friends.
Yeah.
So, all right, maybe Bryan, you can introduce yourself and then where you're from to our audience.
Yeah. So my name is Bryan Nelson. I live in Arizona. I worked basically in product management for about 10 years, mainly focused on data, developing audit systems for logistics, supply chain, payment systems and audit systems. I then joined a startup blockchain company called SweetBridge that we both worked at, which I left back in 2018. I now do data management, but also kind of dabble in education in the crypto space, as well as trying to plug myself into as many projects as I possibly can from kind of an advisory position, to give people insight into where I see technology taking us, basically.
Awesome. Hey, based on the working experience I had with you, I always enjoy brainstorming with you, and then you are a wonderful system thinker. And then recently I saw your TikTok, you have this neurodivergent going on, right? So tell us, what is neurodivergent?
So TikTok is actually really interesting to me, mainly because I joined thinking of it as a joke. It was this area where kids get together and share stupid little quick videos. And so I got it. Cool, I get it, but
right.
Not for me. And really it was when kind of all the stock stuff was going on at the beginning of this year and stuff, and everyone was getting back into crypto, and that was like exploding. I had walked away from the crypto space, really didn't even pay much attention to it, and started kind of looking into it. And as I did that, I just was appalled by the amount of misinformation that was out there, the amount of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt that was basically being spread by people, and everything was a scam. Everything was it was just kind of ridiculous, and
also be repeatable, right? Like based on the different cycles, like you and me, like back to 2017, 18, we kind of saw that.
It was the same thing. So it was like the same message that was bad then being said then it's bad now, and so I felt like I had to do something. And the area that everyone was talking the most negativity about were these crypto guys on TikTok. And so I joined basically saying, oh, well, if all the bad crypto guys are on TikTok, I'll be a good crypto guy there.
Awesome.
And what I found actually was pleasantly surprising. I was actually kind of shocked, because the environment was not at all what I expected. It actually was a very nice way to hold a conversation, have one person hold a conversation with a lot of people, is what I found. And so I liked that. And I actually liked the opinion of a lot of the crypto guys that were on there. So I started following them. I started looking into that. And that actually led me into the neurodivergent community. So neurodivergency is really just a movement to help kind of reclassify or destigmatize conditions in that people would consider as mental disorders, basically autism, ADHD, Asperger's. The idea is that if you process information in your mind the same way everyone else does, you would be considered neurotypical. So neurologically, you're typical to everyone else. If you don't, though, if your mind actually processes the inputs and outputs differently, you would be considered neurodivergent. And it led me into a community of people, actually, that all think extremely differently. And it was fascinating. I mean, to like one of the guys that I talked the most with on TikTok, MD Dog, I'm a very visual thinker. He basically describes his mind as being blind. It's like stumbling around a room in the dark. But it's very, he can still kind of process all this same stuff that I do in very similar ways, but it's very different. Now, his stuff is very kind of focused on words and meanings.
Meaning, yes.
Where my stuff is abstracts. So everything's almost shapes. And it's all about binding these shapes together. And you can think of it like fitting in puzzle pieces. So any new piece of information that goes into my head needs to fit with the other pieces of information in the graph. It's very graph-like in my mind. And anytime it doesn't, it causes me to essentially raise an error, which you've probably experienced this. It's just I didn't understand it at the time, but it causes me to naturally play devil's advocate. So I question almost everything. Now, this gets extremely annoying for people at first, I think, especially if they don't understand me, because they think I'm just kind of being a bit of an asshole, because I'm tearing apart their idea, picking it apart. But the reality is, in my head, the model that I have, your idea doesn't fit yet.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to move things around to see how the models actually intertwine.
That's right.
Because I can't write the information basically unless it makes sense. Everything can always be improved. Everything can always be changed. And so I go through the evolving process. It's a great way, I find, to expand your own thought processes by talking to others about how they actually consume information. And
in a real life, think about it, right, Brian? It's very hard and then rare to meet the people who really want to enjoy that type of game. You either frustrate them or they don't understand you. So you like be silo. I feel like nobody gonna hear me.
Well, that really was the beauty of that neurodivergent community to me. Was that all of the people in that community have essentially been their entire lives round pegs that people are trying to fit into square holes. So they understand that other people process information differently,
right?
Where most neurotypicals don't. So they get frustrated when you're communicating something to them that they don't understand because it's not taking the same pathways that they.
Right. It's hard to follow someone's path.
Where a neurodivergent seems to be far more open to attempting to understand how you get to your answer. Not all rainbows, because I will point out that my the fact that everything's always that kind of constantly shifting model in my head makes it very difficult for me to actually implement. Because the deeper I dive into something, the more I wish to change it. And so the overall kind of where I've found my niche is essentially in working with groups of people on what the overall should be, without trying myself to focus too much on the detail as to